Hey doodly bugs, it is time for Miss Pedersen's poetry check-in. I'm going to start with a poem because it's called Poetry Time. The author is Lee Bennett Hopkins. It's poem o'clock, time for a rhyme. Tick-tock, ding-dong, bing-bong, or chime. Poems are wistful, wish-filled, sublime. Come, unlock a minute for poetry time. And do you see that the tea bag is a book? That's a good one. I'm going to read one more. This is called What Was That? And the author is Rebecca Kai Dotlich. What was that made me blink, made me wonder, made me think, turned me inside, upside down, under, over, all around? What was that I just heard? A treasured tale, a magic word, a breathless thought inside my head. What was that I just read? And do you see that the tail of the whale is a book? Those come from from this book called I Am the Book, and they're poems selected by Lee Bennett Hopkins, and it's illustrated by Yayo, and I really like a lot of these poems. I'm going to read you one at the end. Okay, so this week we have been talking about personification. We've been talking about personification. And personification has this word, person. And that's important because when you use personification, you're giving human characteristics and feelings to objects or animals, things that are not human. Okay, so many of you have already done your personification poem planning. Great job so far. Many of you sent me a guess about what Miss Pedersen was personifying, and you were right. I was describing an envelope. An envelope was the object that I was personifying. Okay, so we are going to talk about a couple examples of personification, and then I'm going to tell you what you can do for the rest of this week. All right, I have 3. Are you ready? Here's the first one. The cupcake was calling my name, Miss Pedersen. So the object that I'm personifying is the cupcake. And the human characteristic that I'm giving it is that it's talking. It's saying my name. Here's the second one. The sun smiled down at me. So what's the human characteristic? It's the smile. The sun doesn't really smile. It's not human, but a human smiles. So I'm personifying the sun by saying he's smiling. Okay, here's the last one. The happy flowers danced in the wind. There are 2 things I said. I gave a feeling to the flowers. Did you hear my feeling word? And then I also gave them an action word. The happy flowers danced in the wind. So when I say they're happy, that's a human characteristic or a feeling. And when I say they're dancing, that's something a human would do. Okay, so that is personification. In the activities that you've done this week and the poems that you've been reading, I have given the objects the voice. So there it's written as I am or I feel happy when. But you can also use personification when you're just describing something. So when you're using the object's name, the cupcake, the sunshine, the flowers. Okay, so there are 2 things that you can do the rest of this week. One thing you can do is look through your friends' posts and see if you can guess what they're describing. So many of you have written your planning and given us clues to an object you're personifying, and you can guess each other's. Okay, that's one thing you can do. The second thing you can do is you can write a poem. You can write a poem using any of the elements and things that we've learned so far. So we've talked about rhyming, we've talked about onomatopoeia, we've talked about alliteration, now we've talked about personification. So you can always write a poem. I'm going to read one more from I Am the Book. Okay, are you ready? And they are personifying a book in this poem by calling it a friend. Here we go. It's called This Book by Avis Harley, and she's holding a book. This book is the best. I woke up to read it before getting dressed. This book is so cool. It's the first thing I grabbed when I rushed in from school. This book is a winner. I forgot I was hungry. I almost missed dinner. This book is just right. I'm reading by flashlight deep into the night, deliciously thirsty to see how it ends. Books are such mind-thrilling, spine-tingling friends. Okay, so I hope you have a great rest of the week. Keep sending me your ideas and your poems, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.